the absolute upstove from coast to coast. I'm Sean McGee. We got a show up that you wouldn't believe. Guess what? We're going to talk about the Commanders. We're going to talk about the Wizards. We're going to talk about the Capitals, and we're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. We're also going to talk about DC United. And ladies and gentlemen, we also going to talk about the Women's Soccer League just kicked off a month ago and is on fire. But before we do, the caller number is 512-543-4662. And that's again 512-543-4662. Make sure you state your name for the record and who you represent, because we want you to talk about your team as much as we do about ours. So, with that being said, oh man, today, yesterday, and Thursday was off the chain, folks. You know, a lot has happened here. A lot has happened here. And what transpired on Thursday was just nerve-wracking. And what was it? A lot of hypertension, a lot of sweating, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But I'm going to tell you right now, it was worth it. Round 2, round 1, number 2, number 1. The Bears got their quarterback, Caleb Williams, out of USC. And they got the wide receiver, Adunze. And selection number 2, the Commanders got their pick in Jayden Daniels. That was by far the most nerve-wracking thing. All the ups and downs and the sideways and the snipers and the comments and the headaches and I'm gonna have to take my blood pressure after this. But it was good. But you know what? I got a panel here that you wouldn't believe, and they're the greatest panel for the night show, king of Springfield, Virginia, and I'm just happy to have them. But before we get to them, we still got a little things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Wizards NBA draft. We're going to talk about that's coming up in June, and we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And what I'm about to tell you, folks, we have to talk about that before we talk about anything else. Well, the Commanders goes first, and then the NBA. But the NHL, oh man, that's another deer that's going to be shocker. And Baltimore Orioles, and we're going to talk about that as well. So with that being said, let's start the show. Here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL draft that's going around right now, and we're in the last day of the draft, folks. Yes, right now we are in the last day, and I can tell you that the Commanders got their person, and that person is Jayden Daniels. And we just made another selection, folks. I'm about to read it right now. In the round 7, the last draft for the Commanders. The Commanders select Javonte Jean-Baptiste, edge rusher, Notre Dame. And he has a length of the body up strength, takes on a shed tight ends. He is a rangy runs defender who closes and chases from the backside. Jean-Baptiste flashes the ability of off blocks, chases good effort, rushing the passer. He is not polished, hand fighter, or counter puncher. He has a trait to develop a pass rusher. So he's a project, folks. He's a project, which is not a bad thing because we have other defenders on the team that could actually assist him in his ability to edge rush. But I think this is a solid pick. I think this is a really good upgrade for us. I'm not really sad about it. This is really good. So we are done in round 7. Overall, let's see who we actually got all together. All right, we're gonna go to we're gonna go to our okay. So we didn't get an OT. We did get an OT. Brandon from TCU, which is a good pick. All right, so we got Johnny Newton, DT. We got Mike Senstrell, Michigan. Ben Snott, tight end. They said he was a versatile tight end. He's one of the best, a versatile player. We got Brandon Coleman. Brandon Coleman is an OG. He can be used as an OT or juice or whatever. Luke McCaffrey, Rice, wide receiver. He's morely a special teamer, but they're probably going to use him in special packages, wild card. So let me tell you a little bit about Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey has a brother who's already in the NFL. McCaffrey catches, passes in stride, reaches his top end speed quickly once the ball is in his hand. He can make first defenders miss, and he's tough enough working in the middle of the field. He is the best working out of the slot. McCaffrey tracks the ball very well, and his ability to make tough over-the-shoulder catches. His body control adjusts back shorter throws. So basically, he's going to be a slot receiver, which we needed it. I think, Johan Dotson is number 2. Terry McLaurin is number 1. So we really got our third wide receiver. So we know that the fourth wide receiver is going to be the kickoff returner, Jamison Crowder. We also know that they're going to alternate in packages. Queensberry is actually going to have a 4 wide receiver set that's stronger now, something we never usually have in 4 wide receiver sets. But I can actually see what they're doing. And so the greatest thing about Queensberry's offense is that if you have a 4 wide receiver set, you're actually able to stretch the defense wide enough so you can run the football. So now that we have a wide out. Okay, all right. I guess somebody was excited too about the draft. All right, so no worries. Hey, listen, we got to have everybody come in here who's excited about the draft, and he just expressed it. That's how you do it. Let's go a little bit further into that. So I think what Adam Peters did was he gave us a better draft than what we usually have. So here's what I said. I talked to a 49er fan, and he told me, Adam Peters is going to right. He's going to get y'all set. He's going to sit there. All right. Welcome. Okay. We got to mute you. There's too much interference in the background there. No worries. Oh yeah, it seems like somebody's at this who created a new profile. I think they have the radio on. Yeah, I think they created a new profile and they have the same phone on. Yep, there you go.
But let me talk about the Commanders real quick one more. How y'all doing? Big C there. The Commanders, got a good.
Hold on, Steve. I can't hear you because there's too much interference.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah, it's somebody doing that on purpose. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they did that on purpose to distract. It's okay. So we got a great panel. We got Big Steve and Coach are here. So Coach, the draft and Big Steve, the draft is here and gone for the Commanders, but they still going. But check this out. I was right. I knew that the Giants wanted their quarterback, but they wasn't going to climb up to get Drake May because the Patriots said we're not trading you our pick to get Drake May, and they went and got Drake May. So
they wanted 2 #1 picks. They wanted the #1 pick for this year and the #1 pick for that year. And then Atlanta, they did the most stupidest pick of the whole. To me, it's the century when they picked the NX. You gave Kirk Cousins a 4-year, $100 million, 120 that is guaranteed money, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you get Penix, right? Penix is 24 years old, and we're going to be playing to he's 36, 37 years old, and then Penix won't get a start until he's 27 years old. Doesn't make sense.
Well, here's what the owner said. The owner said this is the greatest thing to have, a problem like this. And the reason why, and honestly, I'm going to be real with you. He did the right thing. Because if you look at Kirk Cousins and his longevity to play, it's not guaranteed. He can get hurt anytime. He is not a youngster. This is a youngster league.
That's right.
So if he gets hit, that's it. That's game. And then guess who steps in? Penix. So you really didn't make a bad play. You gave him the max.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You could have had the wide receiver from Washington. Start with the one that Chicago picked in the next pick, the 9th pick. You could have had him for weapons. You know what I'm saying? You just cut Cousins out of an extra weapon in their offense, which doesn't make sense. Why could a quarterback be able to sit down? You could have got a wide receiver that can run a 4-4, or they could have got the guy, the wide receiver that Kansas City got, the runs of 1. But I'm glad for our Commanders. They need a decent thing, a decent amount of picks. I had no question with none of them. The McCaffrey pick is the only one because I think he's going to go because of what his brother done. But they scored a D for the Commanders, but every other pick they scored was a B, and then,
so
my first couple picks was an A.
So let me address that. Because I see the logic in what the Falcons did, and I see the logic in what we're about to run. So for the Falcons, again, everything was reassurance. When they signed Kirk Cousins to that multi-million-dollar deal, they knew they're buying something into right now. So if he goes down, which he will, that's what they're saying, in this coming 18-game season, in September, they know that they have a backup that they can really rely on. And they know they got a youngster with a cannon who reminds them of Michael Vick. Remember Michael Vick? Michael Vick started out the same way.
You got to remember this, Coach and Russell, is that suppose he don't get hurt. Suppose he's okay. I need a wide receiver to catch. I can't.
He has wide receivers. He got Calvin Wrigley.
No, Calvin doesn't play for Atlanta no more.
Oh, they got rid of him?
Yeah, he's Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. What
they got is the running back / tight end / wide receiver / everything. I forgot his name, but he do everything. They got him.
Oh, good.
And then they got Pitts, the tight end, which is a great tight end, right?
Okay.
You could have added the 8th pick. You could add with the Chicago guy. You could have added him.
Here's what I'm going to say to you.
Well, it depends on who they have, and they have been slowly building up.
So that's my point. Coach is right. But here's what I'm going to add to that. They also got undrafted free agent rookie money to get a wide receiver where they're going to draft or take and work out. So really, they didn't really lose in the draft. They just didn't get the player that everybody wanted them to get. So the guy is going to go elsewhere. They saw opportunity to pick a real good quarterback. and they could not see. Here's the thing you got to remember.
And they jumped on it.
Right, exactly. So here's what you got to listen. They saw that if Kirk Cousins get hurt, there's nobody in the league that can replace him. Nobody in the league is going to replace him and be a now quarterback. So they saw an opportunity to snatch Penix and get that reassurance that when Kirk Cousins go, because he's not there for long term, he's going to go. And then they can bring in Penix and then have a backup, whatever the case may be, which is smart. I believe, look, if I was a Falcon fan, I'd be really happy about this reassurance, right? Now, as for the wide receiver situation, they didn't lose out. They can still get a wide receiver. There's wide receivers in the free agency that didn't get selected that they can work out and put as a slot receiver or number 2. They really don't have to worry that much. And then you got undrafted free agent money. You're going to be set. They just don't have the star power. That's what you're talking about. They don't have the star power wide receivers. But that's fine. They can get it in the next draft. They can get it in the next draft. But they got some really good wide receivers who can actually be consistent. Now, I don't understand the system that they're going to bring. Now, this is where the problem is. The Falcons system isn't fit for those type of players that they got. So they're going to have to find out if they're going to work together to be consistent, to have that dominant, that dominant X's and O's come in this September. Me, honestly, those players are not explosive. You got a mixture of night and day. You got teams that they were on that was conservative. You got teams that they were explosive. Now they're just going to learn a playbook that has no concept whatsoever. So it's on them. Anyway, back to us. Adam Peters gets a high mark. Where I'm upset is that you could at least stop the nonsense before it got bad. It got bad. But he's happy now because he's a commander. I'm happy too because I'm going to one of the practices in Ashburn and to see and see how he reacts. I'm pretty sure that ball is going to be thrown at a high velocity. It might hit a child in the forehead. He might ricochet and fly in the air, but that's okay. That's how football is. I'm pretty sure that kid is going to be 1,000% happy. I'm not advocating for the kid to get hit in his forehead, but it's going to be hilarious. But I'm just saying, folks, I'm joking. Don't send me hate mail. I'm joking. Anyway.
You know it's coming.
I know. I gotta prepare myself. Anyway, it's gonna be electrifying because we get to see the components work together. Remember, we still got Cole Turner. We still got John Bates at tight end. Yeah, this is remarkable. And then Jordan Reed is going to be at the practice too. So I want to see Jordan Reed and ask him, yo, why you got hit so much in a concussion, man? Why, I mean, did they target you? Because you were dominant. I wish I would get to talk to Fred Davis. I get to talk to Fred Davis because these tight ends need to talk to these tight ends. Chris Cooley needs to be talking to them as well. They got to have some chirping in their ear because this coming season is going to be even more dangerous because you got high velocity players playing at a quick velocity than anybody's business. These youngsters got more speed than any type of cheetah in the world. This is going to be fascinating to see. And then you got Johnny Davis in the middle. Johnny Newton in the middle. Now, here's where the problem is for Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis did not get his 5th-year option. So this is his 4th-year option. He has to prove himself that he's worthy to be on the team. So they might not pick up his option this year. So
they didn't.
They got to get him.
And then they drafted a linebacker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
McGee. You know. Northern McGee, and he is quick.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Yeah.
So, you know, and a couple of the Commanders picks. Okay, like I say, I'm gonna go with them. Like Luke McCaffrey, right? You know, that's McCaffrey's younger brother, right? You know,
right.
He got height, 6'2", he got some speed. They got the surprise for me when they got Johnny Newton, which was considered a top 15 pick, and they got him in the second round. You know, yeah, he broke his leg, but he played after he broke his leg. But he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. So, you know, we got a talent, but still we got. And then we got Mike Savinsky from Michigan, and he was a two-time captain for Michigan defense at DB.
Right.
So, yeah, Coach, you ain't talk. What's up with you?
Well, I could tell. I could tell Big Steve is right here. He's actually stoked about the draft, as he should. We did good. I'm not gonna lie. We actually did pretty good. We got some really solid players. We got team captains.
We did pretty good.
I honestly believe that, you know, it was either Penix or Jayden Daniels, but I really wanted Penix. But I'm happy Penix got picked because he shouldn't got picked that low, but he got picked. But
yeah, I couldn't believe.
Yeah,
that.
He fell that far.
You know, he is good.
He is real good.
I mean, I was like, huh?
And what really?
There was one pick that we got, and they turned around. We traded him, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a boo boo right there, buddy." Yeah.
Well, well, before we continue on, we got one caller coming in. His name is he's the co-host of the Hand Sports Show, no other than Louis Tenor. How you doing, Lou?
Thanks, pal.
You will, man. So
yeah, I always been.
Go ahead.
I always been in your show on the top of mind.
I appreciate you, man. But you know what? You're here first, so I have to give you props when props due. You have a really good show, man. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
But I gotta ask you this question. I'm glad you came in at the right time. Why are you bringing back Ezekiel Elliott?
We need him. We need him at the positions. We have to get him back.
Well, you said this really.
Our line was trash without him.
But you see, here's the thing, bro. Bro, listen. Your whole fan base says some really, really mad things about him. I'm talking about y'all don't need him. He's trash. He ain't nothing. Now you're saying, please come back. We need you. Do you think that was a fair assessment? It's like when LeBron left Cleveland, they burned his jersey. Well, when he left, y'all threw his jersey in the trash. You took Imagine.
He announced it, right? Mm-hmm. He announced it. He was in front of a whole bunch of school children. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
Like you were having an after-school special. Sit down, children. I got something to tell you. It's going to be massive. I'm telling you, massive. I'm going to leave Cleveland and go to Miami. But don't be worried. I'm coming back. No, you're not.
Yeah.
But anyway. But Lou, you're stupid. That was a good one. Yo, Lou is getting really good at this. Yo, Lou is really getting good at this.
I had to do it.
All right, so tell me this, Lou. Why bring him back? You still can get a running back at undrafted free agents that was not.
We know.
Why get him back? Why? Is it cheaper?
I wouldn't say cheaper, but I mean, look at how it was without him. I mean, we need him back. We need a good running back.
But he's only
better than him in the last 5-10 years with him.
But
so I think
I wouldn't say cheaper. I would say it's more like seriously desperation.
Whoa. So wait a minute. Here's the thing. Okay, so I have a question.
They do run the ball quite a bit. So
but see that's coach is getting on to something there. So she's on the right case, but I have to ask a little bit further. So you know that Mike McCarthy's offense, you only run the ball at least 20% of the time. 80% is thrown. So you know he isn't going to touch the ball like 10 carries per rush. He's probably going to seek like 8 or 9 at the max. And you can't use him in a full football regiment. You got to use him at the red zone. So his numbers are going to fall off. So you're probably going to get him at the max is $5 million. 5 to 10 mil off the chain. Maybe not even 10. You're probably going to get it like 7 3/4. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine. Because like I said, I think, the Cowboys needed because, he was our best running back. And it said like desperation. So yeah, I have to agree with this. If anybody else disagrees with me, okay, fine. But the way I see it, we got to get these back.
But see, here's another problem I have. You had Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was the best running back.
He's not coming back though.
No, he's with the Titans. I get it. But what I'm saying is, you had him. He wanted to come back, but but y'all said no. What? But now you begging Zeke to come back?
Yeah. Pollard, his name is Moon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you're left scratching your head. You're like, wait. So Pollard wanted to come back. You told him no. Then you go beg Zeke to come back.
I did.
No, not you personally. I didn't say you went to his house and stalked him out and like, hey Zeke, can you come back? he would. I'm pretty sure I know how the conversation gonna go. Please, no. I that was that's something I would do. I would go to somebody's house and just like, hey, you gonna come back to the organization? We need you, sir. Who are you? I don't know.
Who are you? So I think your army needs you to come back and jump into the
Right. That's right, Big Steve.
That's right. Salvation Army needs you too.
Yeah. You're gonna have the whole commercial. Yo, that's gonna be the best commercial ever. Zeke wants to jump inside the bowl. Are you coming back?
Yeah. Oh. But he's gonna have plenty of people that's gonna get in his way. He ain't gonna be scoring like he used to.
Yeah, that's my whole point. There's not gonna be a massive.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, see, that's my point. You cannot. Honestly, look, I'm just looking at the whole statistics of everything, right? You bring Zeke. So Zeke has already said he's going to come back, right? So you look at it like this. Look at the office of the Mike McCarthy scheme. You're going to throw a ton, right? That's regular season. You're going to be fine. Between the beginning of the regular season to the middle of the regular season, you're going to fall off a couple. And that's because of the production of Zeke. They already said they're not going to have a backup. So you're not going to have a backup running back that actually carries maybe five carries, averaging 3.4 per rush. You're probably going to have a problem. So Mike McCarthy already sees that his efficiency is going to go down. So what you do is you compensate for it. So you throw him out of the flat, you throw him the ball over, a running back screen or, comeback route. You probably work him into the offense. That's still a problem because now you're covering him with a linebacker who is much quicker than him. So he's going to get hit.
Right.
So he's not as strong as he used to be. That's another problem. So here's what I'm saying.
Yes.
their offense is predictable now. Because all you got to do is go to his last 2 years in the offense with Dak, and you know what they're doing. That's it. You're now dictating to
the red zone.
Yes, the red zone, the 50-yard line, their own 25. Everything is predictable now.
Yeah.
So CeeDee Lamb is your only wide receiver threat. He's your only threat. Your tight ends.
Oh, they can change that up.
No, they can't. They can't because they don't have the capital for it. Now, next year, you might have a capital because you're getting rid of a lot of people. But I was talking to this Cowboy friend over the weekend. No, excuse me, over the week. And and we had the discussion as well. We literally talked about how bringing Zeke back was a good thing. And I told him how. You had Tony Pollard. He said, Tony Pollard wanted a lot of money. I said, he had every right to ask for money because you used him.
Well, yeah.
You know, he said, well, he was getting greedy. So, I mean, you'll get greedy too if you just had a massive production.
He earned it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? Are you seriously saying he was greedy?
Dummy, you want me to go out there and knock my brains around?
So then here this is the funniest part. I'm gonna tell you the funniest part, but Lou, we're not attacking you. We're going into an understanding of where the Cowboys are right now. So we get to the part where we talk about Dak. He said, well, you know, Tony, we don't give Tony Pollard that money because he's being greedy. I said, so he deserves.
It made me, you know, like. Suppose they got the Wizards, the Capitals, and the Commanders. Guess what? Did they put in the Commanders? Because every time I see the governor, they don't mention the Commanders. They have, you know what's going to happen? No, because he's a Republican governor, he's not going to get it. Remember, the Democrats in the Virginia hold most of the seats.
That's right.
That's why they didn't get the stadium for the Caps and the Wizards. So they hold power over him. So the commander says this was because what Congress did, they gave us the land. We bought the land from them. Now we own the land, And guess what? I'm going to land my wheelchair to the new stadium.
So here's well, so I'm back. So this is what happened, right? We're gonna get into that too. I want to touch on that conversation as well. I want to finish this and then I'll jump right into it. So I spoke to this guy and he was like, "I get where you're going. I understand. I just don't like Tony Pollard." I said, "Why do you not like Tony Pollard?" The same way I don't like Dak, because Dak and Tony Pollard don't go hand in hand. I said, even though you're a Cowboy fan, I know a lot of Cowboy fans who don't like Dak, but they understand the combination of Tony Pollard and Dak Prescott. I said, so here's the problem. During the regular season, people trust Dak. Playoffs, they don't trust him. So you got to work yourself into the offense. And Zeke knows the offense now. And does he like it? I don't know. I haven't talked to Zeke yet. But I'm pretty sure if he's coming back, he likes the offense. So you got to put Tony Pollard over Zeke any day, because he's the one who goes over 1,000 yards at the end of the season. Zeke hasn't
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Zeke did not
have
even.
y'all lost your freaking minds or what?
Yeah, they have, but now that
if you're gonna have a good team and you've got that player, you got to invest in it.
So now they're in limbo, because now they're gonna be running the same exact offense as Green Bay, but Green Bay was much better because they had versatile players. This year, there's nothing that Dallas is going to do. I don't see Dallas going anywhere this year. They might try to go to a wild card, but they don't break.
Well, they did pretty good last year.
Well, that's last year, but now they don't have the players like they did yet. They don't have the offensive line. They don't have a tight end structure. They still have a CB, but they don't have the type of defense other than Michael Parsons. They don't have Lawrence is not capable of sustaining anything over the edge. They don't have another bookend. They have nobody in the middle other than the linebacker. They have no strengthening of the offensive line. The running back situation is crappy, and now the offense, the quarterback position, the head of the captain association, is questionable. So what kind of recipe do we get out of that? Something that tastes horrible, right? Yeah. It looks good on paper, but when you taste it, you're vomiting at the end of the night. That's how we're looking at it. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. It's like Tylenol. You know, it's like what is that thing called? The cough syrup you hate so much and you vomit it up, but it tastes real good when it goes down, but when you come back up, you know. So now that's how the Cowboys look to me. You know.
That was not
good. Hey, listen, that's a cough syrup, all right? I didn't say anything wrong about the cough syrup. I didn't name a brand. I didn't name anything. Anyway, changing stories, all right. So now that we have all our draft is finished, we have the quarterback. Let's tap into that aspect. So the stadium that Coach was showing me was the one they were going to put in Virginia. That beautiful stadium. Imagine walking under that stadium and seeing the greats line up. It's like walking into the Hall of Fame Museum in Canton, Ohio, and you see all the great statues. It looked like a space colony. And I'm like, if we walk into that, just imagine how massive you can hear. Remember, you know, Big Steve and Coach can listen to this. Remember how they threw the cushions out the seat and threw snowballs after we won the NFC champion? Just imagine what we could do in that stadium when we win the Super Bowl. You know, that I would just fall asleep right on the field. I don't care. I don't care about like, sir, you got to get up. There's a game going. I don't care. I'll leave it right here. You know, I'll be like that person. You know, because that is a prime example where happiness is. And for the Wizards Stadium to be in Potomac
you
Yard,
have to put me at the bottom.
I'm pretty sure.
Climbing up that high.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. The nosebleeds ain't meant for me. You know, I'm not supposed to be up there, so I'm not going to go. Sir, you're gonna have to return back to your seat. I'm fine, thank you. I'm staying right here.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back, going back to my point. Then we saw the stadium for Dallas, and Dallas is planning a massive stadium again. And I'm like,
Wow.
this is, you don't like the stadium that you have right now, but you're trying to go bigger. This is crazy. You have a big jumbotron in the middle of the field. So if you kick the football and hit it, you just created a long time achievement, because ain't nobody's gonna say, oh, the panel's out. Who's gonna fix it? Not me. I'm going home. I'm not touching nothing up there. I was never supposed to be up there. I'll lose my job in a minute. You got hired for this job. You come up there and fix it. You can fire me all you want. I'm not going up there. But anyway, my point is that we need a stadium like that. That's one thing I can actually say about the Dallas Cowboys, stadium. It's they're thinking outside of the box. But the big Jumbotron in the middle, they could have done something. They could move it to the side or something. They don't have to put it in the middle of the field. They can make it skinny, but I don't. It's just me. Anyway, my point is already given. So yeah, Coach had me thinking maybe we need a massive inside dome stadium, because the last stadium that we had was for the 80s. We need something for the present.
Yeah, we built it too quick too.
Yeah, we did. And Jack King Cook was the architect of that stadium. Let's keep that in mind. Yeah. He wanted that stadium more than anything, and he got it.
Yeah, but I don't blame him. It was built too quick. For me being 6'3", my legs was hitting and stuff. The glass barriers, and you see what happened 2 years ago when people fell off the rail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think this one, they're gonna take their time on it. So I'm guessing by 2028, when I'm 63, it'll be right there.
You mean 4 years?
Walk down the street, or right down the street, either one.
4 years from now. Well, I think Joe Harris said it best. He said that we're going to improve in everything, including the stadium. Yo, that's Joe Gibbs talk right there. And I'm like, yo, this guy knows exactly what to do when he makes a statement. But I'll be cautious, because again, we don't know Joe Harris. Joe Harris is probably saying the right things now, but he's trying to his best, be something other than Daniel Snyder and what we had before. Let's give him time.
Remember, he made Philadelphia a winner in basketball, but his one problem was it became the Brooklyn Nets problem when they got Simmons. Then I don't want to play, but I'm still going to paycheck Simmons.
Yeah, I don't consider what the Philadelphia 76ers are doing as a success. They haven't won a championship. They haven't been to the finals. So he didn't make it a winning franchise. He just made it a little bit better than what it was 10 years ago, right? So I don't see the success there. I see a improvement, but not a success. The difference between improvement and success is two things. Improvement means that you got better players than what you had before. Remember, the 76ers had an all-international league. They had Neto. They had another guy. They had another guy, and they let all of them go. And they kept Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was the one they needed in the middle, and Joel Embiid has exceeded expectation. He's the success. The team itself is not a success. They are added players to help Joel Embiid improve in their game, but they haven't become a successful franchise. They just became a better improved franchise. So when we got him,
I got you, Drift. Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
I got you.
So when you come here and you're doing the same thing, you're improving us, but we're not successful yet because we haven't won anything down the line. So when that happens,
and that is, you know, what team was it that built up and went up, and the woman, actually the lady is the owner, and it took them 3 years. Excuse me, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It took them 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, they built up.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah.
And I was proud of them for doing that. You know, for doing that. They got that far. Now that's the way an owner should be. Is when you slowly build up, and then you get that far. You don't cut them down.
Right.
You stand behind them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so they can keep on going.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. They don't have that secondary guy to lean on. They have a primary guy that actually, and I'm talking about the 76ers. They have that primary guy that can actually give them consistency in wins, but not in when it comes down to the wire. They need a secondary guy to actually help him along, and they haven't found that guy yet. Mm-hmm. For us, we have 53 men coming this August to be selected to start training camp. Those are our primary guys. We have multiple winning people in this organization that hasn't really collectively been together. We still haven't seen Fedarius Mathis, DT, you know, see what he could do. But anyway, there's so much to cram in, but we got to go to the Wizards. The Wizards game's finally over. The season's done. But folks, the NBA playoffs is so intoxicating. I can't get enough of it. Don't tell me that the Warriors were eliminated by the Kings. They're gone.
Man.
I'm like, what has happened?
Man.
And it's all because they blaming Clay Aiken been putting the whole game the whole time, and they blame Steve Kerr. I'm like, what? They were good. They beat the Lakers before the playoffs. And now, here's the great thing about it: the Lakers are on the brink of elimination. They are 3-0. The Nuggets are 3-0, and the Lakers are just looking dumbfounded. The Lakers are like, and then here goes LeBron, and LeBron's like, the refs are not even calling the right type of calls. Look what happened with the Knicks. What are we doing? He's just mad because the refs are not calling for him. And I keep telling everybody, he's not the greatest of all time. Because when Jordan was on the court, Jordan won. He didn't say, oh, they're not making the right calls. He went in there and made them call it. He was slapping people around. He was elbowing people. And then they were like, what was the game with that? I think it was against the Utah Jazz when they were playing Karl Malone and John Stockton. And I was like, and Jeff Hornacek, and I'm like, yo, he's slapping the crap out of this dude. And I'm like, the ref would sit there and he was like, that's a foul. He said, there you go. He said,
I do know that there has been, yes, NBA, there have actually been fans that have been harassing the players.
Oh
It
yeah,
is that bad.
yeah. Because there's been, and the reason for that has been a collective.
And they need to throw them out.
Well, here's the problem.
Somebody threatens you out.
Here's the problem.
Don't let it hit you.
Here's the problem, and I'm gonna go to you guys for comment. Here's the problem with that. You're right. There has been a collective problem with fans antagonizing and terrorizing players, and the reason why is because the polarizing of questions that is posed to people of the NBA is LeBron James the great, the GOAT of all time? And here's my answer for that. We all know him being in the number one, beating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in points. It doesn't mean anything. It just means he beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in points. But has he won championships? He only won 4. And those 4 was not with himself. It's with Dwayne Wade. Now, Dwayne Wade didn't want LeBron to come to the Heat. You know why? Because he was doing fine without him. It was LeBron James saying, you know what, I can't win with the Cleveland Browns or Cleveland Cavaliers because we don't have the star power. We keep getting beat by the Spurs. So I'm going to leave Cleveland and go to Miami and be with Ray Allen, Miami
Heat.
Yeah, Miami Heat. And they won 4 championships with the Heat, right? And then LeBron goes back to Cleveland and wins one with Kyrie. Kyrie was the number 1 selected in the draft. And they won with Kyrie against the Warriors. So here's what I'm saying. The NBA has become more toxic because LeBron posed the question to his followers, am I the GOAT? And you know what the LeBron fan says? Yeah, man, you're the best. Well, and then what he does, he goes to the Lakers. He goes to Lakers, and he says, I'm the greatest. I'm working with the Magic. Yeah. And then you get this wave of backlash say, no, you're not the great. Michael Jordan's the great. So what he does, he goes to Charlotte Hornets. I think this is what he was not with the Lakers. I think it was with the Cavaliers. He goes to the Cavaliers and he dunks on the team that Michael Jordan owns and beats them and gives him this mean stare after he does this dunk. So him and Michael Jordan gets back into it, right? And that was, I think, the following year, Kobe Bryant dies in a plane crash, and it comes out.
Are they playing?
What?
Are they playing tonight?
Who? The Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, they play Denver tonight.
Yeah, and Denver is going to eliminate them. So
wow.
fast forward, the Lakers. So Kobe dies, and then it comes out that Kobe and Michael Jordan talk on the regular. I'm talking about every single day. He called him little brother. When did that happen with LeBron? It didn't. Here's what happened, folks. After Kobe died, Michael and LeBron start talking, and then LeBron comes back out. See, I marked my stuff after Michael Jordan. I'm not against Michael Jordan. Me and him are cool. So he's trying to cope with not being the great, so that way he can cope around and say he is the great. So what happens? Shaq comes in there. Shaq and Charles Barkley and Lenny, what's his name? Not Lenny Kravitz, Lenny Wilkinson says, you're not the great. You shouldn't pose the great. You should leave that for the fans. You should just be quiet. So what does LeBron does? He says, I'm the great. I don't care what you say. And then he beats a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record in points. He is not the great. He just statistically, he's a stats champion. So let's be real with it. He's a stats champion, and he's about to end his career today as a stats champion. That's it. That's all you get. And then Stephen A. Smith even said it. He said that he would put LeBron at 5 of all time. Me, I wouldn't have him that high. I have him at 10. I would have him at 15. But the reason why he had him at 5 is because he doesn't have the dog in him like Jordan would. And that's my point. That is why I do not like LeBron. And I do not think he's the GOAT. I don't think he deserves to be called that because he doesn't have the type of championships that anybody else has. And he's frustrated because what's his name? Something Davis. Stephen Davis. I don't know, not Stephen Davis. Davis, Rui Hachimura, Reeves, Spinwiddle. Those guys do not have the dog in them. They have really good athletic abilities, but they don't have the dog in them. So they cannot win against the Nuggets because the Nuggets have the dog mentality. And that's where the Lakers are going to find out they're going to lose.
And then the Lakers don't have no guards. Denver got 2 guards shooting the lights out of them.
And that's the dog in them.
Yeah, you gotta have those guards.
And then they coming back to the number. The Lakers led them 3 separate times.
Mm-hmm.
And Denver came back on these points, especially that 20.1 and that 12.1 game. You know, they came back. They showed what the heart of a champion was.
Yes.
And when LeBron and them, when they start losing, they start to panic, you know. And then he started putting them on defense and stuff, and you still don't have point guard.
And that's where we are, folks. That's where we are. And the Lakers are looking at the window at that pretty shiny little toy train that they always wanted. And LeBron is like, you know what? One day I'm going to have that toy train. And he's not going to reach it. He's just going to be like walking home. I'm talking about, I could have had that toy train. I didn't have the money. He only had $2.50. Well, that's what happens. Anyway, we got the 6:57.
Going nowadays, it doesn't surprise me.
So we got 3 minutes. What do y'all want to talk about? We're going to start with Lou and with Big Steve. What do you want to talk about sports related, bro? Go ahead.
Well, just doing a little bit of a hockey thing. Do you think the Rangers are going to sweep the Capitals tomorrow?
The Rangers are definitely going to sweep the Cap. It's already written. The Rangers are really frustrating the Capitals. The Capitals don't have an answer. That's why I asked if the head coach was the right coach for this team. And I'm going to say right now, no. Because they barely won and got into the the playoffs. They didn't have no type of answer. Ovi, he's still Ovi for a reason, but he's not the Ovi of younger. So it's a done deal. The Rangers win. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is no one. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in Star Wars. Ovi dies now. So that's wrong. Yeah, it's already went him. He's gone.
They're gonna need the Force.
They gonna need Darth Vader to slap somebody in there. I don't know, but get Luke Skywalker, father. I got you, Luke. Come here.
I'm gonna have one of those in my house.
You gotta wear that mask on Halloween. Like, yeah, I'm using the Force today. Go. All right. Anyway.
I got the Force. Yeah.
All right. With that being said,
like a cactus, man.
Okay, we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute, Coach. What you want to talk about? Okay, we gotta go. I want to thank Lou. I got to thank Lou for the co-host of the Hand Sports Show for coming in. I want to thank Coach for coming in, and I want to thank Big Steve for coming in, talking about sports related topics. I want to say your human force and everything second. You're conquerors by definition, so go conquer your dream. Have a great weekend. God bless to everybody, and then be safe. All right.
God bless.
But God bless both of y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna say,
safe, please.
Like I said, when you tell somebody you love them, because you may not see them no more after now.
Preach.
That's right.
Preach. That's a good point.
You got that
so
preach,
true.
man.
I just
That
went
is
to a
so
funeral
true.
today. Buried my best friend of 42 years. So, you know, like I
Wow.
said, he's gone to a better place, a place that one day we'll have to go. And like I said, we can talk all about sports when we get there.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
All right. God bless y'all. And we're out. And thank you for coming in and expressing your dying love for the sports. We'll see you next Saturday. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders. We're going to talk about the Washington Wizards. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And we're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. But be safe. And you're human first and everything second. So go conquer your dreams, because that definition means you're a conqueror. All right. Have a great weekend. Peace. God bless.